Hey, what's up? So thanks so much for coming to the page. At the end of the day, you're looking for a solution to scale your roofing or contracting company, right? It's not always going to be an overnight process. You need to understand that right up front. It will not be an overnight process. You see Brandon Copeland, one of the interviews below that or a testimonial, if you will, he went to $10 million, right? He has a Lambo now, he has a mansion, he has all that, right? But it didn't happen overnight. It took a little time, right? Within our first couple of weeks, we saw some things that were working, right? And we said, okay, well, by doing this allows us to then say, hey, we can get in the door for this cost. We like this cost per appointment. We're good with this. Let's go ahead and scale it. And the reason that most things fail is, number one, budgets a lot of times are too small and you're trying a bunch of stuff way too much and way too fast and you don't even see something real first. So the first most important part of whenever you're running ads on Meta, Google Ads, YouTube, what does it cost to get in the door, right? Find that established cost, okay? And then say, okay, well, now how do I lower that cost, right? Or am I good with that cost? Is that cost so good because we sell so many appointments it works? Especially for Meta or Facebook ads, you have to figure out how to get in the door. That's the number one thing. It's not how pretty your ad looks. It's not your branding, your colors. It's not all that. I promise you it's not. Brandon Copeland Home Services, the guy who went from $40,000 a month to $850,000 a month. His ad is the most simplest thing on the planet. I've even used emojis for his ad itself, like literally a black background, an emoji, and writing, and the offer. The offer is what gets you in the door. The offer is what's always going to make people want what you have, okay? If you're doing like mine, save 30%, save up to 40%, save $500 off, save $3,000 off, and you're not getting bites, you only have two options left. Either offer a giveaway or maybe some type of repair or very low cost way into the door. If that doesn't work, it's not hitting in the market to be able to use something like Facebook or Meta. Then you want to go something like Google, right? And here's also another thing, right? If you want to get in these premium neighborhoods and premium areas, you have to be willing to pay whatever it costs to get there, right? If you want to have roofs, if you're a roofer, that are all 60 squares to 100 squares every single one, well, identify those neighborhoods, right? And then advertise directly to those neighborhoods and only those neighborhoods, and pay whatever it costs to get on those roofs, right? And maybe you do things like giveaways, maybe you do free repairs, maybe you do things like that to get on the roof or meet with those people. You have to do whatever's needed to be able to meet or reach out with that person. Usually another part of the success of everything is how fast you're going to reach out to that person, right? When that lead comes in, are you reaching out in 5 minutes or less? Because guess what? 5 minutes is actually too late. It needs to be 60 seconds or less. There was a recent study that Alex Hormozi's done. I'm sure you've heard of him if you're here. But anyways, he's a famous marketer, right? He does 100 million for his company. And the study was that leads that are reached out to in 60 seconds or less, not an appointment ratio, but have a 55% closing ratio if they're reached out to in 60 seconds or less. So a lot of the things that you may have tried in the past may have actually worked. Hear me out. They may have actually worked. Now, I say this because if you can reach them fast enough, you can make it work. Now, especially if you're running ads on Meta, right? Says your lead forms, right? You need to always ask a question up front, like, did you mean to click this? Did you want this service? Did you want this? And then you say, yes or no, I clicked by mistake, right? That's got to kind of be that first framework, if you will. Then after that, to qualify them even further, then you can ask for something like a street address, or you can ask for a custom phone number, like what is the best phone number to reach you on, right? And this is going to weed out the people who really aren't that serious and still allow a decent cost on Facebook for it. Now, hear me out. If you're getting lead costs between $50 to $100 and still at a 50% appointment ratio, that's not bad. That's still okay, right? But you might be able to do a little bit better if you create a landing page or something like that. That way you can even have them even higher quality and around the same cost. Because anytime you're going to take them to a place where there's more that they have to do or see or remember, that's always going to bring in a higher quality prospect. But yeah, if you want to take your company from $2 to $10 million It's very simple, actually. You have to create an offer to get in the door, whether that's on Meta ads or that's going to be on Google ads. Whatever that is, you have to figure out, okay, well, if I can consistently get in the door between 50 to 150 bucks or maybe even $200, I'm cool with that. Okay. And then you don't look at, okay, well, our cost per lead is this, or, hey, this lead didn't pick up the phone. And that's where a lot of the mistake lies, is everybody looks at the in-between instead of the bigger picture. You got to look at the big picture if you want this stuff to be successful. Because I'm going to tell you right now, no matter what you do, Google ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, funnels, not every lead will pick up the phone. Okay. Number one, not every lead will buy. Not every lead will be in a rich area or have, or be able to afford your service. You may get some shacks. You may get some trailers. You may get some people who don't have good credit. That is part of the game. And if you're not willing to do that or know that that's part of the game, you should not be advertising, because that is just part of it, right? You're fishing. Do you always catch marlin every time, right? Because every time you throw the line out, do you catch a marlin? No, you don't catch a marlin, right? You catch multiple fish. You catch different things, right? But if you catch that marlin, right, it's worth it, because the return on your time, excitement, all that, it's worth it, right? Catching that giant fish, right? But you may catch some smaller fish in between, right? But that's part of business. You don't always get exactly what you want, right? If that makes sense. So I want to explain this stuff to you so you understand how it all works, what you can expect. If you can be in a range between $50 to $150 per appointment, you can scale any contracting company to the moon. You really can. But that's where you need to be. And what does that do? That allows you to be at a cost per acquisition anywhere probably between $200 to $600, maybe $700 per sale. And if you can get to those numbers, you can blow your company out the water and you can blow it up. But you're not going to make a bunch of money with advertising if you're putting in a little bit of money, meaning like, okay, for instance, let's just say you have a successful round or month and you put in 2K of ad spend or 3K of ad spend, which is only $100 a day, 3K a day, right? And let's just say you do pretty well, right? Let's say you get 70 or 80K worth of sales at a 30% margin. You 3x'd your money, right? And then you go another month, but you still do the same thing. That's the mistake. Don't do the same thing. Double your money, right? You're tripling right now. You're already getting 300% return on your money. So this is when you want to say, hey, I need to double, I need to triple down, etc., right? So that's the game. That's it. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what platform you're doing. You need to come to appointment costs you're good with. You need to come up with a cost per acquisition you're good with. And then you need to empty your bank account into the ad spend and scale it, and not spend it on a new truck or a new office. Because if you have an overflow of leads or let's just say a good problem, you're always going to be great. You're always going to be good. But if you buy trucks, office, all that stuff instead, right? Just hear me out. You're not having an overflow of a good problem. You're just putting money into things that aren't ready directly to make money. Now, eventually, if the money's flying in, yeah, maybe that is a good thing to bring on. So you can scale your company and get out to more jobs and expand, etc., right? But right away, that's not what you want to do, right? You want to take that money, you want to invest it back into the ad spend, and say, okay, well, now I'm going to spend $10,000 this month or $15,000 this month. But you know what? We brought in $380,000 of revenue this month with that $10,000 we put in, or that $8,000 we put in. Or every $30K we're spending, we're getting $1 million back. And be able to have these numbers and then scale it. And that's what I've done for people. But again, it's not overnight. It's not about the colors. It's not about the branding. It's not about the pictures. It's about literally the offer that's going to get you in the door of a homeowner so you can create value and then you can scale. Now, hopefully that was helpful for you. Okay. What do I offer? One-on-one consulting so you and I can make your company grow. But we have to consult for it to work. Just buying leads, just signing up for another lead guy will not do it. You need to be able to have an idea of what's going on, what's working, and what's not. And that's what I help you do. How do I work? Well, I have two options. If you just want to do a month-to-month thing, I absolutely do not offer a money-back guarantee on month-to-month stuff. We see what happens. We see what works. You can text me, to go over different things. I'll either set up either lead ads or messaging ads, and I'm going to try to get to that cost per appointment that you're comfortable with. There's no a bunch of phone calls that we talk all the time. I used to do that, and I used to educate people for hours on these phone calls, and I got nothing of it for myself, right? Because it's so hard. I've realized over doing this, creating $50 million for my other people, 1.4 for myself. It's so hard to create a process, I guess you could say, a process that's blowing it out the water in less than 30 days. Now, you can find out what works within a couple weeks, and you can have an idea, and they can say, hey, we finally have something here. Let's start pushing it up, and let's start scaling it. But to have it in 30 days where it blows out of the water is really, really difficult, okay? Because it's not always about just getting you the appointments. It's are those turning into sales? If they're not turning into sales, why, right? What's happening, right? And that's where the consulting comes in. Hey, we had a few that are out of the area. Well, I don't know that if you're not telling me that, right? Now, you have to remember, especially with Facebook, Google ads, they're targeted at certain areas, but if people travel through that area, you may get that lead sometimes, and that's just part of the game, right? And you have to put that in your total cost, right? So there's a month-to-month, no money-back guarantee. That's like the easiest if somebody wants to join. That's $2K a month. Or I offer for $9K for 90 days working with me, money-back guarantee if you don't increase your revenue by 200% or more from the ad spend. And also I have 2 callers call your leads within 60 seconds of them coming in, whether it's on messages, Facebook leads, a funnel that I build for you free of charge with that package. No matter what way that's coming in, they're getting hit instantly as soon as they come in. Instantly, right? So that's the beauty of that and the benefit of that, because most owners, you're probably at best going to call them within 4 minutes to like 10 minutes, reality. And that's just a lot of times too slow to a brand new cold person or a cold audience. And you need it faster than that. And that's why I give that to you. Now, if you were to hire callers to call in your business, you're going to spend at least $1,000 to $3,000 a caller minimum, sometimes even more, right? So I'm giving you 2 that will call instantly, right? And I'm managing them, making sure they're calling. Hey, did we book that? As soon as it's booked, they either put it on your calendar directly or I'll just text it to you. This is a relationship when you pay the premium. You get me anytime. We talk 30 minutes to 1 hour every single week on a Zoom or a phone call, whatever your preference. So you get 12 calls minimum with me as well. Then I also do your Instagram posting for you, your Facebook posting. If you need your Google ads run, I do that too, and your YouTube. And then that's, again, $9K for 90 days, paid up front. And if you don't have at least a 200% growth from your ads that you're putting in there, I offer a full refund. The minimum ad spend for that, you need to put in $100 a day of ad spend at a minimum for that to work, right? Again, $50 to $150 per appointment. Just do the math. I'd love to help you. I'd love to work with you. If you are interested in seeing what can happen and giving it a shot, click the button below, fill out your info, and I will personally call you for whichever option that seems best for you. I know this was lengthy, but hopefully these 13 minutes that you took educated you, made you understand everything, and maybe, I guess you could say, stop pushing or blinding you to things that actually don't move the needle. Because I promise you, I've just done this so much. It's not the videos, it's not the pictures, it's not the branding that does it, especially with home service-based businesses. It's having offers that people want to raise their hands to. They fill out something or they're clicking something to create a call, and you are answering that hand raise as fast as humanly possible, or someone is, and then setting that appointment up and going out there, offering value, and then if the value is good enough, hopefully closing the deal. And that's what this is all about. Anyways, hopefully you got some value from it. I hope you have a lovely day. And again, my name's Conrad. If you need to talk to any of those clients below, see any of those testimonials, reach out to anybody, see how other people's processes work, I'm more than happy to connect you with them if you'd like. Okay, hopefully talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.